Let's start here with the Cincinnati Bengals offense. Now, take a look here. This was the thriller against the Ravens on Thursday night. 34 of 56. We said that night that he was going to throw all night long. And the reason being is that the Ravens have the worst pass secondary in the NFL. All right. Now, here's the problem. The Chargers keep the ball. So don't expect this type of quantity of passes. But you can see Joe Burrow can make every throw in the NFL. Now, the Chargers secondary, okay? It's all over the place. But again, their pass defense, ninth in the NFL. Rush defense, ninth in the NFL. Time of possession offensively, top 5 in the NFL. This team doesn't beat itself. So what they do is keep the ball away from you. So expect these numbers to go down here for Burrow. Now, flip this thing over here and take a look. Burrow's tough areas are going to be intermediate middle, intermediate right, and right at the line of scrimmage in front of them. And I'll tell you why. Because the Chargers are going to abuse their offensive line and get after Burrow, and they're going to force him and flush him out of the pocket. So you see that he can throw deep. Burrow's one of the best that we've ever seen. The problem is it's tough to do it when you don't have any time. So they're going to have to bring in tight ends. They're going to have to bring in running backs to chip and pass pro all night long. Now, flip this thing over. You are going to see the game scripts for the Bengals here, all right? Everything we just laid out. Short pass attempts up. Again, Joe Burrow might not have a lot of time. So what you have to pay attention to are the receivers, running backs, tight ends that are 5 yards and in from the line of scrimmage, all right? Choice option routes. Think that. Now, watch for the sacks, which bring holding calls. Watch the holding calls tonight. It could get out of hand, which forces Joe Burrow and the Bengals to play instead of 3rd and 6. It's 3rd and 16. Changes the entire dynamic of the game. Running back to wide receiver number 2, wide receiver number 3. Receptions are going to be up. We'll talk about that in just 1 second. And then finally, quarterback rush attempts and yards up. Do you remember a few weeks ago when the Bengals played the Giants? Giants were one of the best teams in the NFL at getting after the quarterback. Joe Burrow ran for like 70 yards because they flushed him out. 3.5-star rating for Joe Burrow to throw a pick. Now, flip this thing over here. Here's a trivia question, Coach. You ready for this?
Yes.
How many interceptions does Justin Herbert have this season?
Oh, God, I did so much work on this. But this is one number, I'll be honest. I'm going to say 1 or 2, very low.
1. 1 pick this entire year. He's incredibly efficient. Right-handed quarterback, look at this chart. Throws to his right-hand side. Why? He's throwing with his body, natural motion. Think softball, all right? Not throwing it against his body to the left. You look at the Bengals secondary, not that great. All right, it could give up yards and in a hurry. Flip this thing over. Justin Herbert, quite frankly, if they get out to a lead and run the football, he likely doesn't throw another pick. But where he could get into trouble is intermediate middle, because that's almost every quarterback, and deep left when you're throwing against your body, especially if you get flushed out. His game scripts here, all right, this is what you pay attention to, is the time of possession. They want it to be up. Run the foot. Just think Michigan last year. Run the football. Keep it away from Joe Burrow. Your best defense against Joe Burrow is your offense having the ball. Rush the ball, and then find a safe, deep shot. Justin Herbert can throw it deep. Do not think that he can't, but they keep it safe. They don't do it a ton unless they absolutely have to. So what does that mean? Running back, tight end usage, very, very high. But also think about this. Multiple running backs and multiple tight ends. They don't just run and throw to their number 1 running back and number 1 tight end. So if you're looking at props, the number 2 running back, the number 2 tight end, they get play time and a lot of it. And finally, offensive line, this is their game. If they're pulling guards, if they're pulling the center, if they're running A gap, B gap, and both C gaps around the end, it's trouble because you're just never going to have the ball. 3 stars for Herbert to throw a pick.